Hello guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my experience at Cavalier Clash from this past weekend, and this was an interesting one, so let's get into it. So starting on Friday, after my class, I boarded my flight. Honestly, originally wasn't going to fly there, but the other way I was gonna get there, which was carpooling, I would have to like go home first, and I would have had to skip like this one class. So I paid like a $300 flight just to like make this one class, and was it worth it? No, maybe. I don't know. So after two flights, I made it to Virginia. I live right there, by the way. I was kind of mad I had to do a layover. But yeah, I made it to Virginia, and Nova the TO drove me to the hotels. And probably my favorite part about Cav Clash is the hotel vibes. It's really nice because the top players like are usually put in the same hotel. So your homies will just be like 3 rooms to the right, and you can just hang out with them. So I got to the room, and I was rooming with Marvell and Toon, and we got a pizza, and Toon was kind of tweaking out about maybe losing to Apollo Kage, so I helped him VOD review. Then I also watched some Steve versus Glutiny VODs. I actually didn't get to play Glutiny that weekend because Pattaya the GOAT upset him. But yeah, it was late, so we ended up going to bed pretty soon. And not gonna lie, this was the worst sleep of my life, or at least bottom 5, because I kept on waking up in the middle of the night for some reason. And to be snoring, goddamn. And finally, there was this lady outside that just started like tweaking at like 5 a.m. She was screaming slurs. I think she was like drunk or something, but it woke like the entire like floor up. Like I would talk to the other players on the floor, and they would have the exact same experience of just like waking up at the middle of the night because this lady is just tweaking and screaming slurs. But yeah, who gaff about sleep anyways? I woke up and we Ubered to the venue, and it was time for dubs. And I teamed with Pharaoh, my static, as usual. And we did pretty well this bracket. We sadly got second, and we actually got second the last Cav Clash, so just an unfortunate second place curse. The best team we beat that tournament was probably Ruffalo and Siskwi. And to be honest, like we were kind of destroying them, and we won like 4 games in a row. Like we won the first set 2-0, and in the losers finals we went up 2-0. But then they like changed their strategy and started just targeting Pharaoh. And like Ruffalo and Siskwi, I don't want to say they're bad for Steve, but like okay, Siskwi, that match was just like unwinnable, and Reflow doesn't really use Pally for Steve, so I would kind of be like messing it up. Like, I think the turning point was in game 2 when I killed Reflow at 0, I think twice. So after that game, they just kind of started ignoring me and started focusing Pharaoh, and they ended up bringing it to game 5. But then we clutched up game 5. We just like played better, I guess. The team we lost to twice was her and Mia, and you might expect them to be playing Snake Game Watch, but her was playing me Brawler. Game Watch Brawler is like that might be the best comp in the game outside of maybe Double Steve, but it was crazy. Every time we got up aired, it was just cooked, man. But we lost game 5 twice. That was sad, man. I think we kind of choked the first set, and the second one was unfortunate. I think the stage list kind of like benefited them a lot. So we kind of had to go a bad stage game 5. It was unfortunate, but their comp is good. I'm actually curious about the total count of times we got Game & Watch up aired into Brawler up B at like an absurd percent. Because you'd expect like Yoshi to be fine with it because he has double jump. But no, he just gets cooked too. I'm like, damn, bro. So that's it for dubs. I'm always happy to team with Pharaoh. And a few hours later, it was time for singles pools. And to be honest, my pools wasn't that interesting. Like, I won Steve Sheik. Good job, bro. I'm not gonna lie though, the real highlight of my day 1 was just other people's pools. It was like some of the most insane, unexpected upsets happening. Well, for one, Pattaya beat Glutiny. I wasn't surprised about that because like Pattaya's the GOAT. He's really good, and Kazuya definitely destroys Wario. But yeah, that was like it was still a very impressive reverse trio, and it was very hype. Like all of MBS, our crew, was watching, and we were screaming. Then later in the day, I think this might be the craziest upset I've ever seen. My GOAT, Smash Bros, beat Spargo. And I don't know how he did it. Spargo, he loves losing the PK boys at Cavalier Clash, but Smash Bros is my GOAT. And it's impressive because I think Spargo 3-stocked in game 1. Like, and he brought it back and won the set. That is insane. Also, he had this aura pop-off. This is likely my favorite pop of all time, not gonna lie. Also, he's doing this with Lucas. Lucas is trash. I'm very sad that there's actually no VOD of this set because this is definitely Lucas's best win by a large margin. And I don't know, I feel like the Lucas players could probably learn a lot from that. I can learn a lot from that. I like playing Lucas, and who knows, there could be some Lucas seekers in there. that had him win the set, but no one will ever be able to watch it back. By the way, both these players are New Jersey and part of my crew, MBS. So basically, I'm saying that New Jersey is Japan. So I was there for Thai being greedy, which is hype. But what made me sad was that I was eating in Canes during Smash Bros sets, but I was actually watching the set through a Discord call, and I actually like I could barely see the screen. It was in like 140p, but I couldn't tell what's happening in the game, and I just saw Smash Bros like stand up at the pop. I was like, what? So to finish off the day, I grinded with Toon for over an hour. We were playing a lot of games. He's probably the best Steve at the Steve Dome in my opinion, so I enjoy playing him a lot. And after that, I went to Cookout. And not gonna lie, the thing I miss the most when I go to a place like Virginia or North Carolina is definitely Cookout. The food is so cheap and it's fire. It's probably like top 1 or 2 fast foods. I don't know what would be competing with it. I forget. Oh yeah, and when we got back to the hotel, we chilled there. It was me, Marvell, Spickles, Yeast, and Smash Bros. And then there's the Toon side plot. I don't know where he went. He said he's gonna come back in like 10 minutes. He was gone for like over an hour. I was actually like confused. So we went to bed and it was time for day 2 and the last day of singles. And my first round of top whatever I was in, maybe 64, I fought Atomic the Rub. And he's a very strong player. He's good at the Steve matchup. So he had a good strategy going in. He was playing very defensive, but I ended up winning 3-0 because I'm lucky to go at the Rob matchup. If you guys want tips on the Steve Rob matchup, if you play Steve, I would say that the biggest goal is just to mitigate gyro. So at the start of the game, I try to use TNT just so I can get to stronger walls that aren't there as fast as possible, because then I can just build them every time I'm not in gyro range. Then he can't gyro me or like break the walls that easily, and it's just kind of a camping game at that point. So next I fought Pattaya. He had just beaten Jackal, and this set was super close, not gonna lie. I play Pattaya a good amount in region, and he was playing way better than he usually does, like here, to be honest. But yeah, I went down 2-1, but I locked in very hard after that. I won convincingly 2 games in a row. I kind of just like camped him really hard. I think something that made a big difference in this set was that he usually lets me go to a small battlefield or battlefield when we play in region. But this time he was banning them like every time. Maybe he like know that I usually wanted them. But it made it harder because I had to take him to like Hollow Bash in one game, and I actually got like 3 stock. Like I'm never taking Khaled to that stage again. So next I had to fight Hurt, and beforehand I was practicing with Jackal Sonic with Ness because I honestly thought he was gonna go Sonic. He went up 2-1 on me at this local we played at with Sonic, and he went Sonic earlier versus PK Chris, but PK Chris actually went up 2-0. I mean 2-1 on his Sonic, so maybe that like convinced him to not go Sonic. So he just went all Snake. I lost 3-0 unfortunately. Honestly, I felt kind of lost, to be honest. I thought I had a better game plan going in versus Snake than usual. I was planning on just like, I usually land on the shield too much, I just get downed every time, and I tried to just play more like, I don't know, just outside that range, but he throwed me. No, it was really hard. Honestly, this set made me consider playing Game & Watch again. I actually tried to pick up Game & Watch once because I wanted an easier time versus Doramigi, but I don't know, I just stopped. I got bored. The character's so boring, but I see Akola beat Hurt and Doramigi now Game & Watch, so it got me thinking like maybe it's time to pick him up again. So in losers, I unfortunately had to fight Mia, and I don't know, that's just a tough role having to fight 2 top 5 players to be able to make top 8. But unfortunately, I lost 3-1. Honestly, I think the decider in this set was that I just kept on getting hit by Nair, and I wasn't really sure how to deal with it. Like, I was planning on usually just preemptively hitting him, but that wasn't really working out. He was just like getting in my space really well, and every time I got Naired, I would just take so much %. So I really got to figure out how to deal with that. So another problem was that I just wasn't getting Diamond fast enough. I feel Mia was really aggressive, and he was just getting in my space so well that I would never get Diamond until last stock. So what happens is I would just be getting destroyed, but I get Diamond, almost bring it back, and I just killed him. Like, well, damn. Honestly, after I got out, I felt literally nothing. I don't know. I just don't really like brackets where I don't really beat anyone that's like too impressive for me. Like, I didn't get any top 50 wins, and I just like lose to players that are good. It's like, damn, I want to at least put up a better fight versus her and Mia, so I am upset. But oh well. This tournament also made me realize that my motivation with Steve is a big problem. While I was playing, I honestly just like in my head is like, damn, I don't even like care about this that much because I don't know, I got my final goal with Steve, which is to get top 10 in the world, and I don't really care about being the best Steve or being like top 1 or anything like that. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do next because I don't know what I'm playing with the purpose for it, to be honest. I don't have much to aim for as of lately. Basically, my problem is that I don't really feel good winning with Steve because in my head, it's really not all that impressive. And I don't feel motivated in bracket because of that. And I do feel motivated to win with Ness a lot of times, but it just feels wrong to not play my best character and like get way worse placements when I could just play Steve, you know. Solution I might do is just primarily play Ness, and for the really bad matchups, I'll just counter pick Steve, but I'm still unsure. So after I got out, I went with some friends to get Texas Roadhouse, and something nice about losing kind of early is that I get to eat dinner with my friends at a reasonable time, so that was nice. After dinner, I packed my stuff and I went home with Floppy Fail. He drove me back to my house, and that's about it for the tournament. Some takeaways is that I think it's gonna be hard to keep up with this meta nowadays because I was watching tournament, it's just timeout after timeout, and I feel like I kind of have to play that way, especially with Steve versus Peanut and other players like him. But yeah, fun fact, I've never won a timeout before in brackets, so there's definitely something I got to get better at if I'm fighting some of these demons. Also, Asimo is Jesus Christ. He makes me believe that I can do it with Ness because I feel Ness and Ryu might be a little better, but they're like similar to your characters, and he's like getting all the way to grands and sometimes winning majors. Alright, so that's about it for the video. My next major will be Flash Flood in, I think, might be 2 or 3 weeks. So, good chance I'll make a video about that, unless there's not much interesting happening or I do really bad. So, see you guys later.